So before jumping to the topic, uh, who I am. So I'm a Siddhant Goswami, and this is my Twitter handle. Actually, I'm a software engineer at Avalon, and what I do is basically I'm a React Native engineer, and we use this technology for building cross-platform mobile apps at Avalon. And I've done some work in React Native also while I was a part with Geeky Ants. So yeah, and also I'm posting some very good research related content regarding React Native's new architecture. Or and if you are guys into any of that stuff, you like cross-platform technologies, mobile development, you can follow me and I'll keep you updated with that. So let's move on to the building our application. So first, to tell you our story, like who we are and why like we started with this. So basically, at Avalon was a tech startup. Basically, before this, they launched an application called Avalon Meta, and where people used to create courses and conduct the live classes. So from there, like we experimented with this social audio experiment, like how this thing's going to be affected in our Indian market, because at that time, like Clubhouse was also booming in the US. So yeah, we ran an experiment and it went like pretty crazy. So we have achieved like one of the fastest growth in our platform, especially in our community. And like we hit like 1 million minutes in just a week of launching the this app. So it was just a great experiment. So that's the basically start of this. And so we launched an app called Scenes. So this is app called Scenes by Avalon. If you can find it on App Store and Play Store also. So just to tell you a brief about like how this all started. So Avalon Labs is a service-based company which started in 2018, and also like little bit of sunshine in this right soil. So most of the founders who are involved in this Avalon Labs are also the influencer like Varun Maya and Shashank Ulupa. So they have like very good content over the and presence over the social media. So they also create some very engaging educational communities. And so that was the plan initially. Ki we'll create a community, and then it turned as an edtech platform, and then we moved to the scenes. So what we find on like our initial user research is like whenever like we are talking to users, like whatever they wanted to learn and about how they wanted to do. So it's basically they answer like most of them, because they were suffering from this lockdown and COVID. So everyone was very isolated, and there is very less social interaction with others. And if you talk about the social media right now in our space, Facebook, Instagram, they all have more of a static content and all run by the algorithms. So there is no live human contact with them. So YouTube and Instagram are doing some live videos and live sessions, but still like most of you don't feel very connected while using those applications. So that's why like we think like, okay, this is something which we have to figure this out. And also like when we start this community called Avalon, so almost all the Avalonians came for the content which our founders have put up, but they ended up staying for the people. And like this is a like very important line I want to emphasize on this. That's how like we have built this awesome community that like users are actually loved coming back to and spending time. And it's just because of this community, like people are growing together and they're helping each other. So that's how we are moving ahead. So now comes to the topic, like how we built it. So with blood, sweat, and React Native, let's move ahead. This is our tech stack. Like the front end we use React Native, and back end we use Ruby, Elixir, and Phoenix. So Phoenix is a framework based on Elixir, and it's a like basically we used it for the WebSockets and handling real-time data. We also use Agora for the voice platform, like voice communication, and it's doing like pretty great for us till now. So Yeah, majorly so today I'll be talking only about the React Native part. So this is our app right now, like how we built this. This is like one of the like, important screens. Home screen first one you see, and after that you can join any event and any channel, and then you can like just hop on to the stage, or you can also just write your messages just like Twitch and YouTube does. So it's basically, if you think right now, it's very similar to what other apps are trying to build in this space. But the main USP for our product, or for like I think anyone, if you want to build a social app out there, is to form a community. So like just Reactify, like this React Bangalore, Kiran has started this awesome community, and like how he is grown up now, and is the community is only about the community, like how they are growing. And it's like one of the best experience you can give to your users, because then they will be able to learn and grow together. So that's our idea only. Like we just wanted to experiment with our product, and because of the community it grows, and like it's today also it's growing at a rapid pace. So basically, to break down like from a technical perspective here, like what actually do you need to build a app like this is, if you talk about, like if you exclude the authentication flow, that I think is very basic. So you can add the login sign up methods, and then these three screens, or like you can say these three parts are there, where first of all is the discovery part, which you see on the first screen. Second is the channel, or you can say a room where people can talk together. And third one is like how they can create that particular room. So these are the three main things which we have to focus on first while building any kind of social audio app. And for the discovery, we have multiple options. So we have chose like two tabs, home and popular. Basically, popular will show all the content on the application which are popular right now, like who have like larger number of participants online. And on the home side, like you have the communities and events which you have personally joined. So it will be more tailored to your likings and all. So yeah, and this is the discovery part. And as soon as you clicks on a particular event, so you will be redirect into the inside a room. So inside a room, like generally, if you have seen a social audio app like Clubhouse, what they do is they will give you an option to become a speaker, or you can stay as a listener and listen to the talk. What we have done is we have like just moved one step ahead, is we are also added the chat here. So use listeners who are also listening, they can also put their thoughts in the chat, and they can interact with the speaker. So that way they don't have to be on stage for the interaction. And I think that is a like one of the differentiating factor between our product and Clubhouse, and why it was seen this massive growth. And so yeah, so this is like one of the part of the experiment which we ran, and it was like very successful. And yeah, so this is the flow. If you talk about designing the app, you need to have three types of users. One is the admin, or who's the creator of the room. Another one is the moderator. Moderator, basically admins can assign different moderators to particular rooms. Suppose I'm a Siddhant, I'm assigning Kiran as a moderator, so moderator can have all the access, like accepting speaker request and removing people from the room who are like abusive or not suitable. Okay, and this is the third one is the listener. Listener is basically any user who joins your room and wants to listen you. So these are the three major type of the users we have. And apart from that, yeah, listeners also can put their messages into the chat. And similarly, they can if they wanted to, they can ask to speak. On the last screen is basically a form which will help you to create your own scene. So it will ask you the requirements, and on that basis, it will show on the feed that how you want to display your scene. Okay, this is particularly a room. Now, because this talk is is my first part about the foundation of building a social audio app in the React Native. So I'll be covering most of the things in a very abstracted manner. So, but in the next talk, I'll go into deep, and I'll talk about the exact implementation, because implementation is quite heavy if in any kind of social audio app or any kind of social media app. So that will consist of another like 1 or 2 hours if I'll do this here now. So here I'm just trying to give you the idea and the abstract, so that you can also design your application. And when you're ready, we'll move. I'll prepare a next talk, and then I'll go into the details, like how you can actually code things into this, and you can actually build an MVP and test it out. So what are the challenges which we face while building the app is, and the way this app message, this log message which you are seeing on my screen, it's actually a real message I got while debugging the app. So it was one of our SDKs called WebEngage. They I think I posted this on Twitter also, and it was like a funny message. So because our app was crashing, and these guys are like telling us, "Ki, okay." So why our app crashed first time is like we crashed when we hit first 50 people. So because we built an MVP at like a very rapid pace, so we come up with a design and product in just a month, and we delivered it. So but like yeah, so initially to 10 to 40 people it was working absolutely fine, but as soon as like we started hitting more than 50 people, it started crashing a lot. So when we tried to like figure out what's the reason for this crash, so first thing we did is we obviously did profiling for our native application. I have with the part of the iOS team, so I have done this for the iOS side, and same numbers are there, I think much higher than this for the Android. So we found out like after profiling, the CPU and memory leaks are getting like skyrocket. So this CPU percentage you can see was 194% here, and memory consumption is increasing each and every time like the use spent on the application, it continues to increase. So this is like particularly a very challenging thing for us, because we were not able to figure out where the error is and like how to optimize this for, because we have added all the checks, we have added all the best practices in React world, and we also talked to some of the like very experienced developers like how to optimize this. And the reason why we are facing this memory leaks we found out is because of the chat. So whenever a person sends a particular message to a chat, if I'll just go back and show you the screens. So here, whenever someone just message or send a message on this chat, the chat will store the message, and it will keep in the cache of the phone, because like every time reloading will also require to like load all the previous messages. So that way like any new message will also be on your memory or in your cache memory, and it will keep on increasing as people will start messaging. So this is the thing which we have found out, and we have like limited. First we started with a limited number, like we will batch out only a particular number of messages which every device can store easily. So and after that, yeah, will obviously store all the messages on our servers, and then we will render on the basis of like how recent these messages are. Also, another challenge which we face is due to the memory leaks of the overconsumption of CPUs. That is happening because like if you say if you're on a event where like 500 or 600 people are there who are typing at the same time, so you can expect like a higher number of requests going through that flow. And also like if you have the sockets connection in your application, it will be very cumbersome to process all these requests, and then your app starts lagging a lot, and eventually it will crash. So to avoid this problem, So not a particular more than a particular number of people can type messages or like send at the same time. So we have done a process called batching. Batching is something which when more than like say 100 people are typing on our application, say like 500 people are typing, we will process those 500 messages on the batches of 100. So there will be five batches, and there will be a slight delay. You can say a zero point 0.5 second of delay. So that will be a well, not a very you can say noticeable difference for us, but for our CPUs, it will be like the saving factor for us. So, and yeah, because we can now process all the messages in a batch, and like our app was running again smooth and fine. So these are the like two things which we have figured out while building this. Another one which I personally did is the iOS 14.5. As I was working on the iOS app, and if you guys have ever built anything recently in this iOS, so you must have heard about this 14.5 release. What they have released in 14.5 is this called app tracking transparency. Now, what app tracking transparency is, this is particularly Apple is trying to protect the user's privacy. So they say as application developer, you need to ask each and every detail if you're asking from our users, and it basically to identify them. It can be either email, it can be either phone number, or any particular ID which you will identify them, and then you will use on other platforms to sell the ads. So basically all the SDKs of the analytics, marketing, and ad managers, they all use these kind of techniques to like show you ads on different platform. That's the reason like why if you have like wondered, if you have done your shopping in Amazon of say shoes, you will see the same shoe in your Facebook or in your other blogs while you're reading or surfing the internet. So this is the reason why you do it. So how they do it is they use this technology called IDFA. This is an identifier for advertisers, and by default, Apple uses this as a device ID, which which any application developer can access, and then they can use this particular data to cater the kind of the ad you will see on their platform. Now, to break it into more on a layman terms, is basically whenever you are, say, you are surfing the Facebook and you have liked a particular post about, say, Nike shoes. Now, you will, this IDFA will store that data, like this particular ID has liked this particular post. Now Facebook has that particular data. You know, like you will like Nike, and on the other websites, if anyone uses the Facebook SDK and they wants to like show you ads on their network, that this IDFA network has the data about the user history, and they will cater the ads on the basis of that data. So what this will allow us, this will allow us like cross communication between different companies and different data brokers who will secretly monitor your activities on their application, and then they will sell this data to the advertisers company, and then they will use this to show you the ads. So yeah, according to Apple, this is not something which most of people will like. So they have added this particular prompt, like whether you want it to be tracked or not, and on that basis, you have to like into the app tracking. And I will go much into in the deeper implementation of how we have implemented app tracking transparency and how we migrated our SDKs into the upcoming talk. And this is just about how we have like done this, and this is like major thing on the iOS which I have faced personally. So that's the thing. And right now where we are at, so if I'll just show you what we are doing right now. This is the social audio app, and this is our new app which we are building because we have realized that this community which we have built with Avalon is like something which we are very proud of, and which like everyone is very proud of in this community. And so our application will also should reflect how this community is going to like grow from here. So we are adding like different features, we are adding videos, voice chats, and we are making it more like a fun side also. We are adding games, and we have forums, and yeah. So also there's a new thing which we are also working on, is like this is going to be the first community platform to enable 2D virtual spaces, where you can actually walk around with your friends like you would do in real world, and you can basically have a conversation with them. So this is our like a recent R&D project which we are working on. So I think, yeah, if you were interested into this, you can look into the Scenes of Social website. And uh, yeah, so for me, I think that concludes, and that's all from my side. Thank you so much for being a very nice